it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
Wait, another lonely table in a restaurant. Empty plates, but a third straight glass of wine. Outside, the world is getting colder by the minute now. Nowhere safe, don't feel like running out of time. It's too late for starting again. Too many lines in the skin. You can forget what it feels like to win. When you don't, you don't. Lydia, you saw red tonight. Lydia, maybe I could treat you right. What if I could treat you right? You're afraid that no one's gonna see you like you saw you once. In a frame, it's the way you keep it in your mind. Take a ride, the world is getting smaller by the minute now. There's a place you never have to hit rewind. It tells you it's over in there. You're clinging to life in your skin. You pretend not to care where he's been, but you know. Lydia, you saw red tonight. Lydia, maybe I could treat you right. Lydia, he shot out your light. Maybe I could treat you right. What if I could treat you right? What if I could treat you right? Maybe I could treat you right. Lydia, you saw red tonight. Lydia, maybe I could treat you right. Lydia, he shot out your light. Maybe I could treat you right. What if I could treat you right? What if I could treat you right? What if I could treat you right? What if I could treat you right?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the band The Great Affairs, please welcome singer-guitarist Denny Smith and drummer Kenny Wright to the program. So how are you guys doing today?
Good, man. Good.
I've been listening to this album, man. I love this album. It's phenomenal. And I love the title. Everybody moves, nobody gets hurt. How did you come up with that?
And I honestly don't remember, but I sat on it for years. We were going to do a live record and call it that.
Uh-huh.
We just never accumulated enough quality live stuff, enough board recordings to do it. And I just felt like this record was such a, when we put it together, it was such a hodgepodge of material. It kind of came from all over the place, stuff that had been sitting around for a long time. It felt less like there was no real central theme or anything. It was just a bunch of songs that we all really dug. And I just felt like this was the time to, I don't remember even asking if you guys were cool with that now that I think about it.
We talked about it early on. It just kind of coalesced into being went from a working title to this is the title. Nobody had any problems with it. I think it's a great title.
Once I slapped the artwork together, it was like, this is what we're going with.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I was like trying to figure out, does this have to do with what's going on today, or is it something that you came up with in the past? Like, I wasn't sure like where you were going with that title. You know, everybody moves, nobody gets hurt. You know, because I think a lot of people are getting a little tired of being cooped up. And the way I interpreted was you were saying like, it's time for us to get out and it's safe. No one's going to get hurt. Like, let's just let's do this. You know what I mean? Could be interpreted that way, correct?
You're actually the second person to mention that to me in the last couple months. But I mean, honestly, when I did it, I was thinking of the old, nobody moves, nobody gets hurt, like a hold up thing. And I just changed it to like a, if everybody's moving, we're all getting along kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a kind of just took it and turned it on its ear a little bit. Mm-hmm. I've had that title for 5 years or more. So I while clairvoyance does run in my family, supposedly, I don't think I saw any of this current global situation coming enough to have formulated that. Mm-hmm. To come with, if it does, I guess I should have said yes. That's exactly what I meant.
Did you guys write the album during the quarantine, or you had some songs ready before that?
I think it was all done before the quarantine.
Oh, wow.
The writing process was done. A lot of the recording was done during, but the writing, I think, was done.
Yeah, we might have tweaked on a few things that were, there were a few straggler tunes that we hadn't really fully fleshed out yet. A lot of this stuff has been sitting in one semi-finished form or another for a couple of years. And we started some of this stuff back in 2019 for an EP. And we were just going to do like, the series of EPs thing that got to be everybody keeps trying and then realizing it doesn't work. But we thought we would dip our toe into that, and it had a similar effect for us. It just kind of fell on deaf ears. It's like no one realized it even came out. So that's why, like, I'm All Right and In the Wreckage and Satellite are all from an EP that we put out just digitally. Mm-hmm. And and as I'm sure a lot of people have come to find that are from our era, I guess, or however you want to describe it, most of our fans still want physical product. So that stuff just kind of drifted out there. And no matter how hard we tried to promote it, it was like it never happened. So when we decided to go ahead and do a full length and kind of abandon that series of EPs idea, by that time we'd accumulated quite a bit of it. We had a lot of songs to choose from. It was how are we going to record them? How are we going to get in and out of where we need to be to get this stuff done? That was the bigger trick. We did this at 4 different studios, our own home studios, and then our main, our home base is the Switchyard in Nashville. That's Michael St. Leon's studio, but we did a chunk of it at Joshua Ketchmark's place, Black Gold Speakeasy, a lot of stuff over here, even some stuff at Matt's house. Matt tracked percussion. He got a credit on the album for engineering.
Nice.
So, which is crazy because he's probably the most qualified career-wise of all of us to be doing it, and doesn't really dabble in it very much. But so we just had to kind of do it where we could get it done, and then send it all to Michael to assemble it, and just do it kind of piecemeal, Mm-hmm. Which was I think it panned out really well.
Oh, I think so. The first single is Livia, right?
Correct.
Who is Livia?
Well, I can't tell you, man.
Why not?
Well, I will. If you see the cover of the single, mm-hmm. Some astute NBC viewers, regulars of a certain crime series, will recognize the vixen on the cover.
Oh,
and they put the 2 and 2 together, and they will, whether the song's really about her or not. You know what, man? It was a phonetically pleasing name for me to sing when I was writing the song. So I went with it, and then I filled in the blanks later. But it could be applied.
Oh, cool. Well, now, maybe I'm not the only one who's wondering. So people who are listening to the show will go back and look at that picture now to try to figure out who the hell Livia is. I love this song, though, man. It's a great song.
Thank you. That's one of my favorites, too.
Kenny, which one of the songs on the album is your favorite?
Which song is my favorite?
Yeah.
I don't know. A couple people have asked that. I don't think I really have a favorite. I mean, I think they all pretty much turned out how I was hearing them in my head. So that isn't what's important to me. I enjoy listening to it up to a point where it's finished, mm-hmm. and then I rarely go back and listen to it again. So I was happy with it the last time I listened to it, but they're all my favorite on there. I mean, we put a lot of work into the production on that album, and as we always do, and I feel like it came out well. So I can't say I have a favorite stylistically or just a favorite song to listen to, but I'm just pleased with how they actually came out in the end.
Do you guys plan on shooting any music videos for any of the tracks on the album?
We do. I had a meeting with Scott and Nate Moore that filmed our last 2 videos this past week, and we're going to do one for I'm All Right, and we're kicking around possibly doing one for Livia, but it's just kind of tricky, some of the logistics for that one in the current environment to get it done the way we want to get it done. But we're definitely going to do one for I'm All Right. We've got a concept in mind, and we've got a venue to shoot it in, and just a matter of getting the time and getting in there and doing it.
Now, do you guys enjoy shooting music videos besides recording the songs?
No.
It's a lot of work, right?
It's not particularly inspiring to me to be filmed over and over again playing a song and stuff. It's not nearly as glamorous as it probably sounds to people that have never filmed music videos before. But I mean, I don't hate it, but wouldn't say that I look forward to it, and I definitely don't like seeing myself on the playback when it's all edited together. So
with this release, you guys offer a deluxe edition, what I thought was pretty cool. You get a CD, a guitar pick, a sticker, and a comic book. How do you guys feel being a part of the elite, the few elite that actually have a comic book? I mean, Danzig has his own comic book, Kiss, Rob Zombie, Scott Ian. Now you guys are part of that group. How does that feel?
I don't know that if you look at the comic book, I'm not sure that you would consider us in the same group with Kiss and Rob Zombie, but it's fun. It's just a little satire that most people won't understand except for the 4 of us. So it was just a clever marketing ploy.
Will there be a sphincter clenching second issue, or?
Well, the thing of it is I've been doing these things for quite a while on this, but I just float out a page or 2 and send it to the guys, and we all have a laugh over it. So there's always an issue too waiting to happen, but we'll see what the demand is before we start getting into the production phase of that, I think.
I thought it was pretty cool though, man. I mean, it's original, I mean, there's not many people doing that.
Loved it when I finally saw the finished panels of it. I was like, oh, this is... I realize it's a lot of in-jokes, but
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I mean, we've done this. This band has been around for so long now that I'm hoping that the few people that bought the limited edition that snapped that up, most of them probably get some of those inside jokes because they've been around us long enough. So, yeah, I hope there is another one. I'm looking forward to issue number 2. I want to see what happens to my character.
There's a whole arc that's going to transpire here. I just have to have time to work on it.
Awesome. Do you guys have any shows coming up that you want to talk about?
So we're playing in 2 nights. Saturday, October 3rd, the day after the record comes out. We're at Boca Lounge in Evansville, Indiana, and we're going to do a little evening with thing, play a whole long night of stuff from this record and all the other records, and a few choice covers that we are fond of, and then we don't play again unless something comes up, which seems pretty unlikely, until November, and we're in Terre Haute, Indiana at the Verve, and we're gonna do the same thing there. So, and then it's wide open from there. I guess we got to see how the rest of this plays out, man. Really hard to predict what 2021 is going to look like. People that rescheduled stuff are now rescheduling it, and we're just kind of sitting back and working on our chops, wait, how that's going to shake out before we make any. I mean, it was weird to be out aggressively trying to drum up work. We don't want to go where we're not wanted. So you know what I mean? Right.
Do you guys feel that you released the album at the right time, or do you feel like you should have waited a little longer?
We talked about that, but I think the general consensus was that there may not be a right time in the near future. It's been 2 years since we had anything out. And we were really proud of the record and moved forward with everything in spite of the whole situation. And when it was done, we really wanted to get it out there, even though we weren't able to really fully tour to support it, which is really important for us because that's where the biggest part of our revenue comes from. But I'm glad we released it when we did, and I personally don't have any regrets about it. I think sitting on it any longer, we probably would have, you start to focus on a little bit of the enthusiasm for the work that you did on it. So we just went ahead and struck while the iron was hot for us anyways.
And we really telegraphed this release, but we'd done that EP, like I was saying earlier. So we'd started setting this thing up as a, it was coming, and we were going to have it out by, end of summer, early fall. And then it just felt like we'd be jerking people around to not put it out. It's like we've already kind of teased some of these little single snippets and stuff. And I know a lot of bands did choose to, drew back, change the release date here and there. And then they all ended up, most of them, putting the stuff out anyway. They just bumped it by a couple months. And what difference did it make, because we're still middle of this thing. So I'm with him. I'm really glad we just went ahead and pulled the trigger on it, because we could have sat on it and waited this thing out and still been looking at that a year from now. No one knows. So yeah, plus it's something, we wanted to give people something too, we're all really proud of this thing, and, it's been 2 years, and we have kept up a pretty consistent, release schedule. We used to do one every year for a while, and now it's like we try and at least get an EP out or something, always trying to keep something in the pipeline. And we didn't want to change that because of this business that's going on. We wanted to still keep that channel open for people. So, and then people seem to be pleased with it. I mean, the deluxe edition, we've only got a handful left. They're almost all gone. So
that's awesome.
It was easily our biggest pre-sale on a release that we've ever had. So it's I wish we could have done more on the live front, like just around the release with shows, but it still did great, even just with the limited bit of push we were able to give it. And we're not done, obviously. It's not even out for another few days. So the future is bright, I think.
Will there be another round of deluxe editions?
No, man, we said limited, and we meant limited. Not Gene Simmons limited.
Where you keep coming back.
Yeah. No, that's it, man. That's the ones we pressed are all we're pressed. I mean, yeah, we might press more CDs. We may do it on vinyl down the line if there's a call for that. And we think it's worth doing. But yeah, the comic, that was it. One and done. We did that. That was the hand numbered limited edition.
Maybe do a T-shirt bundle with the CD.
That could be a thing.
Do that next round.
We've got plenty of merchandise that we ordered for 2020. We would love to have an outlet.
Well, that brings me to my next question. You guys do have a lot of cool merchandise. What's the link to the website? It's
thegreataffairs.com, and then once you get there, there's a store tab, and that has all that stuff. And then that will also allow you to jump over to Store Frontier. They do a whole bunch of shirts that we don't stock on the road, but they do designs that we don't even have in our inventory yet. They have them. So you can get like those hoodies and stuff over there. But yeah, just thegreataffairs.com. That'll take you, and every single link to everything that we are possibly featured on social media wise is all on the main page. So you can click to your heart's desire. There's got to be 20 different things on there to shoot you all over the web. So
very cool. Now, I wanted to ask you a question, Denny, because Bob Long now has me wondering what this is about. Oh. Why do they call you Lefty?
Okay, so when I worked for Bob, this is many, many moons ago in the mid-'90s, actually early 90s at this point, I was in a band, and we were a band that had a lot of hair and wore, crushed velvet pants and, did the whole thing. And, you couldn't find those in central Illinois. So you would go to Chicago and you go down by Wrigley Field, what they call Boys Town down there. And they had all cool stage clothes stores. So we would make a pilgrimage, every 2-3 months up there. And I seem to recall we went and saw maybe Lily and Axe or something at the Thirsty Whale that night. But during the day, we went clothes shopping, and I bought a pair of cowboy boots that I thought were pretty badass, and put it, got them in the box, and in Chicago everything was like super security, so they had like one boot out for you to try on. You didn't get a full pair. You couldn't walk around the store in them. So this place was, it wasn't the nicest neighborhood. So I tried my one boot on, and it was a left boot, I should add, and I said, yeah, I want these. So they went and got me a box out of the back, and they rang me up, and off I went to see Lily and Axe. And I got home the next day, and I went to try on my cool new boots, and my right boot didn't fit right. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And it was because they had given me 2 left boots. And I lived 2.5 hours away from Chicago. So my buddy Josh, who was one of our co-producers on this record, and I drove the next weekend to return and collect my swapped my left boot for my right boot, and then we went and saw Tough at the Thirsty Whale.
Nice.
So there was a benefit to the whole thing. But yeah, so Bob insisted on calling me Lefty from that point on, and I'm sure people, I would never answer the question. I just did it for you, but I've let it go for years. I've been telling you, but so I'm sure they drew all kinds of great conclusions about why, if I was ambidextrous and for one thing and my left for everything else, fill in the blank. But yeah, all over a pair of left boots.
Yeah, when I saw that comment, I was like, you know what, I gotta put that in the list of questions that I asked you guys. I mean,
Bob gives a lot of nicknames, and that was a fairly benign nickname. I always felt lucky that was what I got tagged with, because working for him, that was one of the kinder nicknames I saw getting doled out. So I was always okay with it. I didn't care what people assumed it meant, but yeah. So you're welcome, Bob. There's your story.
No, when I saw the comment, I was, my mind was going everywhere, and I was trying to figure out what he was, where he was going with that. But as soon as you started talking about buying cowboy boots, I kind of figured it out.
Yes, it wasn't not quite as scandalous as Bob.
Yeah, Bob made it sound like it was, front page tabloid scandal,
No, sadly, no, nothing that good.
Well, that is front page tabloid in Canton down there. So that's big news.
People made fun of me for a long time, man. It's stuck around. I can say that much.
So Denny has 2 left feet. You're not a great dancer.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's a funny story, man. I mean, like I said, I thought it was going to be something different than that, but once you started telling it, I kind of figured it out.
About me, if you wanted Bob to just come on and do a whole episode where he ridiculed stupid things I've done, he could certainly easily fill a half hour and have ammo to spare. I worked for Bob for quite a while, and there were a great many episodes that he was privy to that I'm sure he has shared with a great many people. I won't go into them because they don't really reflect well on me, but so that was one. Like I said, that was one of the more benign, stupid Denny Smith stories that could be told for sure.
Do you have any other ones you want to share?
No, not particular. I mean, that they don't necessarily reflect badly on me. Just that I was a dumb kid working in a record store for the first time, and I took my job very seriously. I will tell you this. I have physically fought shoplifters for a $50 cash reward for everyone apprehended. I have physically fought people much larger than me.
Wow.
Over things that weren't worth $4. So, let Bob say what he wants. I was a loyal employee, man of principle.
Now, does he own his own record store?
He has a shop called Shandy's, but they had a really bizarre episode. Gas main. They had a gas leak in the town square in Canton a few years ago. It's been several years ago now, and it literally, almost decimated the downtown. Blew all the glass out of the windows.
Wow.
The guy from the gas company, Amarin, was killed.
Oh, Jesus!
Trying to fix the leak. It was this big thing. But Bob's store, the building it's in, which is a 2 or 3 story, it's an older building. I mean, it's turn of the century building, and was really badly damaged. So he has been unable to reopen in that location since that happened. And I don't know if there's an ongoing, some kind of lawsuit going on or not. I'm not really sure what the status of that is now. But yeah, his shop is one of the coolest. I really miss going in there. I mean, I had my own shop just up the road in Pekin, Illinois, and I would still make a pilgrimage over there. Yeah, once a month at least, just to go rifle through stuff because he had so much inventory and just crazy stuff in there.
Take you days to go through that stuff.
Yeah,
probably still wouldn't have scratched the surface on what he had in there.
Wow. Any final thoughts before we go, guys?
Yeah, go to thegreataffairs.com and everybody buy this record. And if you're one of the next 9 people to click on that link and get that deluxe, you're in luck. If not, you'll have to wait for issue number 2, and maybe somebody will fill you in on the backstory. But yeah, man, I guess I just want to say thanks to everybody that really jumped on these pre-orders and made this the success it's been so far, because we had no idea what to expect going into it. I was like, comic book, man, I know it's going to be cool, but is anybody going to care? And obviously people did, because they totally latched on to the idea. And like I said, it was just nice to see that even without going out and doing shows and stuff, we could get this thing out and make it work, and set ourselves up to do another one.
Yep, well said. I agree.
That's awesome, man. Well, I wish you guys so much success on the album, and I can't wait to hear about you guys getting back out on the road and entertaining everybody.
Me too, man. Me
You
too.
know,
We'll see how it
it's
goes.
time.
Definitely.
All right. Well, you guys take care and stay safe, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Yeah,
Right
thanks for
on.
having us
Thanks,
on,
man.
man. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, buddy.
Good deal.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Peace.